right, kids, our topic today is multi-step speed problems with a fraction of the distance. We're just going to go over example 1 on the video anyway. And today's date is 2/19. So we have multi-step speed problems where we're going to have part of the distance is a fraction.
Marissa took 3 hours to cover 2/3 of the trip. She covered the remaining 120 kilometers in 2 hours. Find her average speed for the whole trip.
Okay, so the topic for today, guys, we need to be organized. And the best way to be organized is to draw a model. Okay, so we're going to talk about Marissa's trip. All right, and how many parts should we divide her trip into? Katie?
3.
Okay, so out of the 3 parts, we know something about 2 of the 3 parts. 2/3 of the distance of her trip. Brian, what is it?
Well, she took 3 hours to cover the 2/3.
Okay, so my time here, and I'm going to call this time 1, because it's the first part of the trip according to the problem. Okay, so it took 3 hours. She covered the remaining 120 kilometers in 2 hours. So the last part of the trip, the time is what? 2 hours. And so that's T2. And D2 equals 120 kilometers. All right. Now, what do you notice about our units and our time? Okay, does anybody notice anything? Well, let me tell you. These thirds, the 2/3 and the 1/3, refer to distance. Okay, we can't relate that to time. All right, and we're talking about these fractions. All right, now over here, remember we're being asked to find average speed. So what do we need in order to find average speed? What are the 2 things we need, Isabel?
You need the total distance and then the time that it took her.
Okay, so that's how I'm going to show that. Distance total, we don't know that yet, and the time total. Do we know the total time right now? What is it, Marissa?
5 hours.
It's 5 hours. 3 hours plus 2 hours is 5 hours. Okay, good. So, all right, so now we know our total time. We need to find our total distance. What information are we given? What information are we given that could help us? Cormac.
Well, 1/3 of the trip is 120 kilometers.
So therefore,
Therefore, you can find out the distance of the whole trip by multiplying it by 2.
good. Could we also find 2/3 of the trip, kids? What's 2/3?
240.
Good. 240 kilometers. And that, now, we really don't need this. We don't need distance 1, but I'm just going to put it in here. 240 kilometers. Oh, and I'm also putting parentheses around that because I had to find that. I wasn't given it. It's just how I personally keep track in the problem. All right, but I like how Cormac is thinking right to the end here. He's thinking, let's just find the whole distance. Could I go ahead right away and find the whole distance? I can. I can do it 2 ways. 120 times what, kids?
380.
Or 120 plus 240. Either way we get
360.
good. 360 kilometers. So we found our total distance. We have our total distance and we have our total time. Now what do we need to do in order to answer the question, Michael M? S equals D over T. Yes, you can do that. Okay? If you want to do it that way, you can. What's the other way, kids? D equals ST. Either way is fine. I'm going to show it this way. D equals ST, and so your 360, who can finish filling this in for me, please? Sanjeev.
Equals S times 1.
Okay, rearrange, Isabel.
5S equals 360.
Okay, divide both sides by what, Christopher?
Divide both of them by 5.
By 5. And if you know 360 divided by 5, tell me what it is. Label? Kilometers per hour. Okay, so the sentence, not she, not her, Marissa. Marissa's average speed for the whole trip is 72 kilometers per hour.